want to vote for Carol because not only going out there and dissecting a zombie was patently absurd, but going out there alone and then just being alone on the outside, knowing to watch your back. You can't. You gotta stay together, man. You gotta you go out to take a crap. Someone's got to come with you.
Yeah.
So I feel like that. Vatos obviously, but he didn't survive. So
yeah,
I'm gonna go with Carol.
All right. That kind of plays right into the big question that I had here. Clearing out this prison. I mean, they certainly think that they've got this area secured, right?
Presumably.
If this was you, would you ever feel totally confident that you had that prison cleared out?
Sure.
That there wasn't a single zombie lurking somewhere around a corner ready to eat you?
Well, I mean, I would always lock the cell block that I was in.
Certainly.
Once you're there, then you know. But I think that you could get to... Now, I don't know about the yard, but I think... because they broke in, someone else could just as easily break in and attempt it. And protecting yourself from survivors at this point is just as important as the zombies. And if Rick hasn't got that yet, after Nebraska and after this, after the experience with Dumbfuck, Hayseed, Shane broke my neck guy last year, then he ought to know by now that, I mean, if you lock yourself in that prison... with the technology that the average survivor has at their disposal, at worst, you're going to get massive notification that there is something wicked this way coming.
Yeah.
And you can prepare. But, I mean, I feel like that you could be relatively secure in that prison.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I would lock the cell blocks. And once I'm in a cell block, I know, okay, in a small area, I would feel totally secure. Yes, I know there's nothing in here. Mm-hmm. In the entire prison, I'd always be wondering, did we miss one?
Dude, I mean, if
maybe we forgot a broom closet and it got out.
I get creeped out in a large office building on the weekends, you know?
Without a zombie apocalypse.
I don't think you'd ever really get secure, but I think the way you could solve that is do 2 sweeps a day.
Yeah.
Have 2 people go out on patrol and just make sure. Check all the doors, check if they're locked, see if anything's changed. Mm-hmm. And I think you could be reasonably certain that you've got no zombies or anything else in there.
All right. My other question for you is, what do you think about them not even once cutting over to Andrea and Michonne?
I like it.
You do?
It's exact. I would be a dick if I'm like, I miss you, Andrea and Michonne, because all through the Game of Thrones, I was like, I'm tired of cutting to Daenerys when there's really no change. There's no progression here.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm glad that they stuck with a main group here. I think it's going to allow them to make this show feel like it's moving faster than it is.
Yeah.
Because you've got 2 groups, you can split the action between episodes.
Now, there's some listeners that didn't like it.
Really?
Or they're saying they hope they can integrate it better. But my point is, until the story naturally progresses to a point where these stories do interleave, it's dumb to give us, especially now if there's 15 minutes and you're trying to give us an idea of progression of time, so we don't get too much of the Lord of the Rings effect where you got okay, here's everything that happened to Sam and Frodo. Now we're going to leave them for a whole book and go back to the other 6 of the 9 are left. As long as they don't get to that extreme, I think that we'll be fine. But if they got 15, 20 minutes, fine, split up an episode. But if all they're going to do is give us 3 minutes of Michonne and Andrea bitching about being on the road and being sick, I don't really need to see it.
Well, they kind of
much rather have a nice meaty episode.
Sure,
once every 4 episodes or so.
Yeah, I agree. They kind of did the same thing that they did in episode 1 by splitting this party a second time. They split for most of the episode, Rick and Daryl and T-Dog off on their own, and then had the group back tending to Herschel.
Yep.
So they kind of got that effect without having to cut to something that may have been boring.
But I like that because especially on Boardwalk too, they're doing that this season where they've got 2 of my favorite characters, Al Capone and Richard Harrow, and they don't have a huge part of the plot this season. But instead of giving us 3 minutes an episode, they're like, you're not going to see this guy for 4 episodes, but then we're going to give him 15, 20 minutes. and some good character development, and that it does feel like more shit gets done and it's less distracting and you get more absorbed into the story.
Definitely.
But there's a lot of people that, probably disagree.
I need to do Zombie Kill of the Week, and then we can move on.
Okay.
Will you let me award this to Big Tiny?
Zombie Kill?
Yeah, well, I guess I would award it to Tomas for killing Big Tiny.
Oh.
Was he... Because you say he was definitely going to turn into a zombie.
But he wasn't a zombie at that moment.
You're right. He was not.
So no.
So no, I can't?
No.
Then I don't know who I'm going to give it to.
Pretty ballsy trying to pick that.
I know. I thought maybe you'd let me squeak by with that. Zombie Kill of the Week.
Can I nominate one?
You sure can.
The guy that took... The zombie that took a crossbow during... to the skull during Daryl's lecture. I mean, you got to give Daryl.
Okay.
This is kind of like when you got an MPV season in basketball, and there's no one really standing out, so it's people like fuck it, give it to LeBron again.
Yeah,
I feel like if there's like a no standout kill, you got to give it to Daryl.
All right, fair enough. Daryl gets it.
Or I guess Carol with the rebar through the eye socket was pretty sweet too.
Not bad. You certainly can't give it to any of the prisoners because they didn't kill any. Yeah,
the extended shiveling of the zombie.
Yeah, nothing.
It'd be funny if he's like, that tickles.
No, that wouldn't be funny. That would really take me out of the show. All right, that's all I got, man. Let's move on to feedback.
Oh God, I'm gonna have to really ramp it up because we ran long. It felt like. Damn you, Daniel. The professional podcast critic, WB.
Did you just call him Damn You, WB?
Damn you, WB. Contrarian bastard said, did I just hear you question whether Seed was better than the pilot? That's crazy talk.
Oh, wow.
I think you should have said, Daniel, that's absolutely sane. That's the sanest thing I've ever heard you guys say. It says, clearly the show's trending up, but the Campfire song alone drops Seed into also-ran status. You also have Skylar, Lori, picking up right where she left off, only with a bigger prosthetic tummy. Think we're all voting for the first ever zombie baby to immediately take care of business.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't like the governor shown in the season preview. He's going to need some serious acting chops to get over that Wally Cleaver visage of his. T-Dog was the bomb in the prison. Can a spoken word be far off? Good to have you two back. Well, thank you, Daniel. Brian of the Rosa says, does T-Dog... This is all from last week, if you couldn't tell. Yeah. Does T-Dog have that slow of a metabolism? Everyone's obviously starving and everyone looks thinner, yet T-Dog still looks like he has a backpack of chicken nuggets he's stashed away for dinner every night.
Maybe he got the other can of dog food.
He's like, whenever his back's turned, he's like scraping the dog food up. The suspiciously named Lori C says, since Carl grabbed... she's talking about an explanation for Carl's dog food, Rick throwing it, we talked about. Since Carl grabbed the food so readily, I took it to mean that survivors have eaten dog food before. None of the others questioned Carl or even raised an eyebrow about it. They probably ate everything they could find during the winter since they were on the run from several herds. When Rick threw the can, I took it that he was merely sick of their group having to subsist on dog food. He was frustrated they hadn't had a stock supermarket or something, partly why he was so anxious to get into the prison. I like that read, that he was just basically tired of just getting by. And he's like, fuck the dog food.
Fair enough.
Mike J wants so bad to be excited by Michonne, but he can't seem to get on board. I think the words geek pandering were spot on, but I have a real problem with the whole zombie slave thing. I feel the zombie slaves are inconsistent with zombie behavior set up in the show. They try their best to explain them missing their jaws and arms, but I was led to believe that there's literally nothing that would cease their hunger for live flesh. Just as we've seen a zombie torso would still try to crawl, or a severed zombie head would still try to bite, I think armless, jawless zombies would perpetually be in attack mode.
Agree.
No, I don't know. I think that you can get they call it like learned helplessness. Mm-hmm. Like when a stimulus goes unrewarded for so long, like whether it's pain or whether it's pleasure or whether it's hunger, your body eventually stops sending that signal. So, like, if they've tried to attack, and then in the comic, they make it pretty clear that these guys, and even after she removed their jaws and arms, they still came at her quite a bit, and they eventually just stopped. So, like, they have enough intellect to give up or know when something's hopeless.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go down the Romero road if we're depending on how closely we're sticking to that. I mean, to take Dawn of the Dead as an example. Or I'm sorry, Day of the Dead. And Dawn of the Dead.
Right.
No, not the new one.
The old one?
The new ones suck. The Dawn of the Dead. Okay, Ving Rhames redeemed.
I was going to say, come on
Dawn
now.
Of the Dead. I can't take it away from Ving Rhames.
Yeah.
But no, they have learned, or I'm sorry, not learned behavior, but remembered behavior.
Yes.
So certainly they have some shred of intellect, like you said.
And like we've seen before, and we've got some more feedback about, we've seen zombies try to use rocks as weapons or battering rams, and we've seen a little girl zombie pick up a teddy bear and stuff like that. So there's a disturbing amount of humanity still left in the zombies.
And I think that's a good thing.
No, yeah. A little creepy. Joe says, I was rewatching the first season. Oh, speaking of, I noticed that zombies still have their human ideas, such as picking up a teddy bear or a rock to break a window. This got me thinking, as earlier on, they still have aspects of their humanity, something that we see none of in the later episodes. Could this be a subtle hint to the fact that survivors on the show are also slowly losing their humanity? Do you think this is a thematic? That like the zombies were more human-like, you know, remembering where they lived, like Morgan's wife picking up the teddy bear, and now we don't see any of that shit. They're just feral animals, and is that a thematic match to the survivors?
Maybe, and maybe this virus destroys your brain as it goes and takes those things with it.
That's the other thing I was thinking. That 10 months on, maybe the synapses, the higher brain functions that were left as vestiges are just gone.
Maybe.
So, but I like the thematic moment too. Steve is all about zombie survivalist, and the stuff we talked about wearing armor got him all excited. He says, "Here's my take, influenced by
Jim Jones,
Max Brooks."
Oh fuck!
I know you're a Brooks disciple too.
I like his stuff. Yeah.
So we're talking specifically. Max Brooks wrote the Zombie Survival Guide and World War Z. Both I think are horrible books.
Oh, wait for the movie World War Z.
Not very entertaining, but if you're...
I'm going to go see it.
I've had many debates with my ex-roommate about this. But anyway, he says, yes, snug-fitting leathers are preferable to body armor. No zombies can bite through. The cowhide and the slickness of it makes it difficult to get a firm hold, making escape easier. In my opinion, the .22 long rifle is the preferred firearm for zombie apocalypse. The pluses of this round are its small, lightweight, means you can carry more. There's enough power to penetrate the skull, do its damage, and not over-penetrate, i.e. hit your buddy that's foolishly standing behind. As you stated, a silenced .22 long rifle round would not attract additional zombies, and just about any store that sells ammo should have tons of these rounds in stock.
Yeah.
That's true. The .22 is probably the most prolific round in existence. Hell, I've got 1,000 here in this home, and I'm not particularly a big gun nut. So it's cheap, it's readily available. I'd say that and a 12-gauge shotgun shell are probably the easiest round to scavenge in a zombie apocalypse.
Fair enough. So let's go back to the armor real quick. I had this idea. This is an idea I've had for a while. The zombie apocalypse ever hits. A lot of people say, oh, I'm going to go get a suit of armor or something from the museum. Not a good idea. Instead, you go to the motorcycle store. You get the leathers.
Yeah.
Then you go to the supermarket and you coat yourself in like Crisco. So it's ultra slippery.
Butter.
Yeah, just butter yourself up.
Cocoa butter, in fact.
Well, why not? That's a good idea, right?
It smell good.
Yeah.
Why? So they can't grab onto you? You're
exactly.
Like a greased pig?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's the way to go.
You zombie survivalist. I'll leave you to it. Trisha DuBois said, I heard on another Walking Dead podcast.
You butchered her name.
DuBois? What is it?
It's probably Dubois.
DB. I heard on another Walking Dead podcast that the characters of Herschel have been picked up twice in Georgia while driving while intoxicated, so I really don't know if he'd pull through. So what does that have to do with him pulling through? Like, he's got a weak liver? I don't get what she's saying.
Herschel's been pulled over before for being intoxicated?
Yeah, that's what it said. I guess some podcast claimed that maybe that's comic information, or maybe it's something he mentioned in... about him being a drunk.
Yeah, back in Nebraska, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, if he's not healthy and he's old,
right,
that could contribute.
Yeah. She continues, I think it's a complete jackassery for Lori to give him mouth-to-mouth, although I understand her motivation. Carol hacking into my abdomen would drive me to desperation, too.
Yeah.
She's also chalk her up for being glad that they didn't try to give short scenes to Andrea and Michonne.
Yeah.
Rather just to skip them this episode. Frackin' Toaster has a couple of observations. Number 1, the zombie apocalypse looks real good on Maggie. 2, official prediction.
I agree. She's gotten cuter, right?
I don't know why, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Neither do I, but it's happened.
It's like her hair's slightly different or something.
Yeah.
But her cuteness has intensified. Official prediction, Lori will die, but not until she's redeemed herself in Rick's eyes.
Impossible.
Do or say something that will win him back over to her side, then she'll die. Maybe even a suicidal attempt to save someone's life. I could see that, and that would really put Rick over the edge if he finally let her back in and then she's taken from him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm probably exactly what's going to happen.
What if she?
Good call, Frackin'.
What if she dies saving Carl?
That's what I was about to say.
Would that redeem her in your eyes?
I don't know.
She's
I like
shit
Carl.
all over season 2.
I like Carl an awful lot, but she's really bad in season 2, and and it's like they're playing her greatest hits, and like you know, she's what she's like. She's like a heel wrestler. Like, at this point, she's antagonizing the audience and just, like, gesturing for, like, yeah, give me the booze. Yeah, you know.
Sure.
Linda Schmidt said, I think the scariest episode in this season, or scariest scene in this episode was Carl slowly raising the skirt of the walker. Felt a little pornish.
Carol.
What did I say, Carl?
Yeah.
That would be really creepy.
It would be weird.
ZombieUpskirt.com.
Ugh.
Coming to a Japan near you. Philip Zierman said, I'm going to have to defend Lori a little bit in this episode. Deleted. Yes, they need medical supplies, but that's no excuse for Carl to go by himself without telling anyone. He easily could have asked someone else, maybe Glenn, to go with him for mutual protection. Considering Herschel got bit when there was 3 of their strongest fighters escorting him, it's recklessly dangerous for Carl to go off on his own. I think Lori's right to be concerned and tell her son that. A fair point.
Yeah.
I still don't like Lori.
I don't think Lori overreacted at all in that scene.
He also says he wants to make an official prediction that Carl didn't actually kill 2 walkers. And he's got some logic behind this, but his point is that maybe, I guess he was saying this to like maybe brag in front of Beth.
Oh, so he does have the hots for Beth.
He had this milk run, right? He just stumbled across and was like safe as can be. And he comes back and like, I had to fight to the death.
That is a bold prediction, considering there's not a shred of evidence for it.
Well, I guess,
but I'm going with it. I like it.
He's basically saying Carl is not strong enough to kill a walker by himself.
That's not true. We've seen him do it.
Unarmed combat.
Maybe not unarmed, but I don't think he's unarmed.
Well, he had a gun, but this gun did not have a silencer that he brandished later in the episode. So if he had unloaded in the cell block, people would have heard it.
But did he take another weapon with him? Like, we don't know.
I'm saying that I like the theory.
No, I'm going with it. I like it.
Jake from Tallahassee says, I enjoyed a lot of the dialogue that poked fun of Season 2 in this episode. The writers are really cooking this season. A few notes. What do you make of Rick's strange pause and stumble at the end of the episode on the bridge? I just don't think he knows what to say to fucking Lori.
Yeah.
Got to keep moving on. Andrew says, I really hope the writers don't do what they think they're going to do this season and just give T-Dog more lines to say. Just having him say stuff doesn't help build his character at all. Giving him a shield is badass, but he needs to have some type of meaningful relationship with at least one of the other group members in order to make him a better character and give him real purpose. It's extremely annoying to watch his character be so severely underused week after week while every other character continues to grow, or just annoy like Lori. If he doesn't interact with anyone, he will just continue to be the token black guy with just more pointless lines than last season.
Agree, and I think you cut out the part of his email where he talked about the relationship he was starting to build with Dale in Season 2. He had that one good scene with Dale.
Yeah.
And that's where you started to think of him as a character and not just some guy on the show.
Yeah.
He's right. He's absolutely right. We need not just more lines, but more character development for him.
Right. I think it'd be cool if because Rick and Dale or Daryl already have the bromance going. Mm-hmm. I think it'd be cool if he paired off and really got in good with Glenn, or perhaps Axel. That'd be like an odd couple type of thing,
Yeah.
And is he also Axel got a little bit of Dale in him? I see.
Maybe
got a little Dale in him.
Is it the facial hair?
Levi R says, I think Glenn and the crew behind the scenes deserve a lot of credit. So far, they amped up this season perfectly. With all the balls they're thrown in the air, I don't see another Sophia Hunt in their future. Their continuing divergence from the comics is welcome. The Houdini Walker with stump slashing action, the ineffectual but hilarious prison shanking method of zombie control, and all those bloody prisoner deaths, and Rick giving Lori the cold shoulder. Do you think this development in the Rick-Lori relationship helps or hurts her survival from a writer's standpoint?
Helps or hurts what?
Her survival. So Rick and Lori having relationship problems in the writer room, does that help her
mean she's gonna die?
Survival or hurt her survival? I think Lori's dead no matter what.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it probably hurts her survival. Mm-hmm. I don't know. What else does she have to do in this show?
Yeah.
Other than antagonize Rick. And now that relationship is done.
I don't know what she can do other than it. And she already had a suicidal mission with her lips on Herschel's,
And the car when she's
already said season. I completely mea culpa on me being a bad mother and a horrible wife.
Yeah.
And what else could she do at this point to win Rick back? I don't think there's anything. So that means the only thing she's got left to do is die.
Awesome.
Mike in Hawaii says, Michonne using a samurai sword is way too unrealistic. Her cuts and even stabs look too easy and smooth. I know I have an actual katana and had training in the past to use one. Slicing two heads at once with reversed back slice makes completely no sense. Just like the gun handling in the show, the writers really don't know what they're doing.
I'm sorry, but when I hear people on the internet say that they own a katana, I think like the Star Wars kid. Like they've got these, and maybe that's not him.
Are you going to take this, Mike, in Hawaii?
I'm sorry, Mike.
You need to buy a first class ticket to Indianapolis and show Jim Jones.
Yeah, show up with a katana.
Yeah.
A couple of severed heads, and I'll believe you.
Cut through his power Mac right there. Power book, whatever the fuck it's called. Moving on, Jorge says, hey fellas, a big fan since the Blue days. Assuming he's talking Blue Yonder. Yeah. So old school. Because did you notice when the Rictator asked the prisoners how long they've been cooped up in the broom closet, the big guy said 292 days and the little guy said 294 according to, and the leader of the prisoners told him to shut up and gave him a weird look. Do you think there's something else lurking around the prison? Or was that just some random...
someone else around there? Maybe so.
Because I thought he said according to he's starting to say my calculations. Uh-huh. But he's like, is there something to that? Or is that just Tomas being a dick?
I think that was to show us that this group has been fighting amongst themselves for a while. Just like I said earlier with
and puts
Big
them
Tiny.
That, when he said, we're not affiliated, that was more a little foreshadowing of that.
A little more believable there, yeah.
Okay. Tommy A says, started off a little iffy and was worried that the bullshit would take over, but no, the second half was dynamite.
Yeah.
When Rick killed what's-his-face, I jumped out of my seat and cheered like Aaron does when Andrew Luck throws a touchdown to Reggie Wayne. That's how you get on air, folks. You pander to my Colts fandom.
Oh, boy. Unless I'm doing the emails and you get cut.
The Captain Albano says from Atlanta, I know you guys are working on a Bald Move fan meetup for The Walking Dead and want to let Atlanta area listeners in on a very cool viewing party that happens every Sunday at a bar called Diesel in the Virginia Highlands area of Atlanta. Why can't a cool bar like that show, like all our bars are concerned about fucking Sunday Night Football or licensing.
Yeah, that
legalities. We need a fast, loosey-goosey bar.
I saw the picture. It was pretty cool.
So it was.
Yeah.
I said, my friends and I went last night. It was fun to scream, gasp, and cheer along with 100 or so fellow hardcore fans of the show. Cast and crew are known to stop by as they start filming in Senoia, Georgia.
God.
Last night, a zombie actor was the guest star, and I believe Iron E. Singleton has attended the viewing. Additionally, there are photos you can take of the real-life zombie. I've attached mine. Please note the Colts jersey the zombie is wearing. Looks like zombie Edrin James. Again, the captain has the trifecta. Informative email, something, question,
related.
Colts pandering,
yeah.
profit. So she's inviting all you Atlanta listeners want to meet up at the bar. We could send some Dirty South collective feedback or just hang out as fellow fans of the greatest Walking Dead podcast there is.
I'm super jealous. That sounds awesome.
It looked like a good time. K-Day says, first, I know you guys hate Lori and I did too, but it's just me or Rick being douchier than he needs to be. His behavior on the bridge is pretty callous and honestly selfish considering Lori's shitty situation. I might be moving over to Team Lori because she's really facing all this shit with a good attitude. What? Is she watching the same show?
I was going to be really harsh and say, no, she deserves everything she gets.
That's been your tone this whole cast.
I know, but you went so hard on her that I feel like I have to at least say
All right, you be good cop. You be good cop. If you think about it,
being good cop.
If you think about it, she's the worst off character on the show by far. She has a husband who hates her, a child who mouths off to her, and a possible baby zombie in her belly with no doctor to deliver it. That's got to suck. All things of her own doing.
And I disagree with the idea that she has it worse than, say, Andrea.
Yeah.
Everyone else has had everyone they love killed.
I'm putting aside the fact that she slept with Shane because I don't fault her for doing that in that circumstance. She thought Rick was dead. Sure. It's a zombie apocalypse. You turn to comfort wherever you can. Her behavior on the farm is fucking undefensible, and that's why Rick hates her, in my opinion. And also, Carl probably hates her because he was watching the same show we did. He was living it. And he's like, this is bullshit.
Yep.
So, anyway, then Kate A is the one that I unfortunately cut like literally 90% of her email because she went on about the zombie virus. And I'm like, I'm sorry, Kate. I don't care.
He doesn't care about the zombie virus.
There's lots of threads on Reddit if you want to argue about the scientific nature of it. But
that's how you guarantee not to get your feedback.
Yes.
Apparently.
And unless there's some kind of new CDC footage or some kind of radical departure that we want that gives us a reason to talk about it, I just don't care.
Okay.
I've turned that part of my brain off. I suggest you all do as well. She also says, I take a lot of... This is going to get back to your Max Brooks fanboy stuff. I take a lot of issue with the fact that 8-ish months after the farm, the cast is still wandering around in Georgia. They have cars that could easily drive to an island, either to Outer Banks or one of the Florida Keys. Certainly zombies can't swim very well, so once you cleared an island, you could grow food and live pretty safely. Plus, no winter. In past seasons, it was logical that they were trying to find a CDC, but when they found the farm... if they found the farm, they want to hole up there and live indefinitely. But once they get off the farm, why did it take them 8 months to find somewhere safe? That's probably another good reason that Flash Forward was good, because we didn't think about any of those things. You could get a long... I argue that if in the zombie apocalypse, there's two ways to go. You go extreme north, where it's cold and it deactivates the zombies year-round, or you go extreme south, where you don't have to worry about the winter. And go to, like she said, Florida Keys, find a way to blow up Highway 1, and live out the rest of your life in zombie-free comfort.
Sure.
Fletch says, I look forward to the season, but I hope I've been spending an entire episode with Michonne and Andrea, and then spend another entire episode with their survivors. I hope they find a way to incorporate both storylines in the same episode every time. Fletch is a dissenter.
I was going to say dissent in the ranks.
Two more. No, this is the last one.
You're going to get us all killed. You're breaking rank.
What are you going to do next? Shiv an email. Rachel H. says, for wishes, I wish Carol had chosen a visibly pregnant zombie so we could get a zombie baby still moving in the re-killed zombie mother. Mm-hmm. That would have been legendary. Rachel and Jim,
hold out for it.
You guys, you should get together and talk, because you guys got the same sick mind.
Great minds.
Question: I wonder if they ever met any other survivors on the road. If so, what happened? If not, why weren't they more excited to see other survivors?
They kind of had Herschel to deal with when they met these survivors.
That's true. They didn't even process it, and by the time they did process it, it's clear that they were douchebags.
Yeah, they were already adversaries.
It's like, we've met the enemy, and they are douches. Who makes zombie panties that stay intact for 10 months of zombie apocalypse? Not that I'm complaining. Good point. I think we should find a brand and everybody stock up, because clearly those things can go through anything.
Yeah.
Or contain anything, rather.
Well, the show has hit a new low. We're talking about zombie panties.
Did you sleep through your human centipede shenanigans last week? Don't even.
That was gold.
Don't even. Fool's gold, iron pyrite. So that's it. If you'd like to get in on this feedback action, there's 3 ways you can contact us. You can do Watching Dead or Walking Dead at baldmove.com. You can go... That's probably the best way to send long-form emails, because I miss a lot on the personal messages and stuff on Facebook. So whereas I always sit down and go through every email before the show. You can also, if you just want to watch the show live with us, we got a lively, rollicking thread on Facebook.com/baldmove. And Jim over on Twitter @baldmove is doing live tweets every week. So those are some cool ways to interact with us. If you want to see everything we're doing on the Bald Move Network, on our Million Cast March. It's at baldmove.com. We've got the Watching Dead. We've got Justified. We've got Mad Men. We've got Breaking Bad. We've got Game of Thrones. We've just added the boys from Seattle, which are having a ball with your guys' new feedback. They do general cast on board games and movies, video games, beer,
football.
They've really amped up the drunken antics of late. The bachelor party, the epic bachelor party RV urban camping trip.
That sounded like an awesome bachelor party.
And these guys, man, I'll tell you what, I've hung with them on several occasions.
Yeah.
And they are not, they are no joke.
I have yet to meet Eric.
I'm a big dude, and Jesse can outdrink me.
Oh, I believe it.
He pays for it, but he still outdrink me.
Yeah.
So how can you support the Million Podcast March? Well, a couple ways. Number one, rate and review us on iTunes. That does wonders for our traffic levels. Gets probably it is the single best way that we promote our cast, because when you guys rate and review us, we bubble up to the What's Hot list, and when people search for Walking Dead podcast, we pop up in consistently the top 3 results, and people give us a shot and end up liking us, hopefully. So that's a great way to support us. Also, if you want to help us cover the bill on this 40 terabytes of data we're pushing, Amazon.baldmove.com. If you're using Amazon anyway, I'm a big Amazon fan. Use our affiliate link, because what that does is it costs nothing to you and gives us a little bit of Amazon's profit. And, you know, a couple hundred of you guys doing that, and it's super easy to pay our bills. So we appreciate everyone that's doing that and supporting us so far. Third, if nothing else, tell a friend. You know, you're sitting there at work chuckling in your cubicle. Mention, hey, listen to The Walking Dead. It's a vile podcast that talks about
human centipedes
involving a family member and a newborn zombie fetus. It's good, clean fun for the whole family. Check it out.
Oh, yeah.
We'd appreciate that, too.
Definitely.
That's it. That's all for the pimping department.
All right. Well, we have a spoiler section that we're going to hit.
We do.
After the music.
It's action-packed.
Yep.
We've got some, not a lot of hardcore show spoilers, but a lot of comic book talk, and a listener taking us to task about some of the comments we had last week.
So stick around after the music for that if you want to hear it. If you'd rather remain spoiler-free, we will see you next week. And with that said, until next time, I'm Jim.
And I'm Aaron.
And we're back with the spoiler section. Let's go ahead and run the preview for next week. There.
On the next episode of AMC's The Walking Dead.
Someone's coming. Why are we locked up in this room?
You're not prisoners here, you're guests.
We want our weapons.
Destroy our community.
I'll die before I let that happen.
I was separated from the rest of them.
Tell me where they are. I'll bring them in. For a longer look at the next episode of AMC's The Walking Dead, go to AMCTV.com.
I don't know why I decided to put the whole promo in there, but it looks we've got a new entry into shitty Southern accent off.
Yeah,
the governor's bringing the thunder.
I can't help but see Liam Neeson every time I look at him.
Yeah, right.
Am I wrong?
And he kind of got that sound.
Yeah, totally.
Right. If you leave Woodbury now, that'll be the end of it.
I just need to see him fight a wolf.
But if you try to destroy this community, I will find you, and I will kill you.
Yep.
Yeah. A pack of wolves take him down. That'd be a radical comic departure.
Definitely.
So let's talk some spoilers, because I didn't really have much to say about that preview other than holy shit, Merle, and hey, a helicopter crashed and crazy stuff happens. Jesse B's got synopsis for the next 3 shows. Did you want to say something else?
I was just going to ask you if you think that helicopter crash is going to lead them over to the prison.
It does in the comic book.
Okay.
It's slightly different the way they're doing it. And
Do you think they'll follow?
I really like how they're remixing the comic up.
Yeah,
because I suspect they're going to do certain things, but they're remixing the characters and remixing the situations, and it's still like, even if it unfolds how I expect, it's going to probably be just different enough that I'm surprised. So I like it.
Yeah.
Kudos on that, Mazera. Episode 303 entitled Walk With Me. The synopsis is, Andrea and Michonne find a new community of survivors. A decision must be made. What do you think the decision is?
Whether or not to kill them all.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Episode 304, Killer Within. The group is severed, placing lives in jeopardy. Merle has a request for the governor.
Okay.
Bring me the hand of Rick.
Probably, yeah. I'd assume it's help me take out Rick, because he's been lurking in the bushes. He's seen Carol. Well, I assume that's him lurking in the bushes. Mm-hmm. So he's probably going there for an army.
Here's the bombshell. Rick 305, say the word. Rick struggles after another loss. Michonne is suspicious of the governor.
Lori.
No. Who could do... Seriously, though. That's a finale. No. That's a finale.
No, she's not a finale.
Yes, she is.
All right.
There's going to be... It's either going to be... You watch. It's either going to be 308 or 313.
Okay.
Fiesta Tex-Mex music. So, major character death in either 04 or 05, says Jesse B. Looks that way.
Yeah.
Unless he's crying over a bag of corn.
Maybe.
Oh, the bag of corn. Zombie blood everywhere.
Yeah, I don't have any guesses as to who that could be.
So, in the comic, Carol and Lori have this... Like Carol's got this weird idea that she wants to have like a Mormon-style multiple sister-wife relationship with Rick and Lori.
Did we not just get done with this shit with Shane?
No, but this is a different take.
It is.
And
different flavor.
I didn't believe it because Rick and Lori are kind of on the rocks, unlike in the comics at this point. But Carol and Lori are definitely getting chummy in this episode. They're teasing each other about what a mess they looked like.
Definitely.
So
maybe they're gonna just leave Rick out of it.
That's on my...
It's a possibility. That wasn't a joke. I was serious.
Sister wives not needing the brother husband.
Why not? He's not really in the picture anymore. You know?
No.
So,
Mike G from New Jersey says, after seeing how Carol is now going to be stepping up to help Lori with the baby, I was wondering if you think that she will either mess up and kill Lori or the baby while trying to deliver it, or Herschel will jump in and save her.
Herschel's not going to jump into anything.
It's
with
true.
One leg.
He'll hobble over.
Yeah.
Carol, but in the end result, the child will die. Carol will be filled with remorse and attempt to bed with her favorite badass rather than trying to get in bed with Lori and Rick. Okay, so who's our favorite badass? Oh, Daryl. He's on my Daryl. Okay, I thought maybe because Rick's putting his name in the badass hat there.
Oh yeah, he's the badass of the group now.
Rather than trying to get in bed with Rick and Lori, contra to what I said, just like she did in the comic, Dale will reject her, and that's how we will get to see her so filled with regret that she offs herself via Walker suicide. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think? Why would Daryl reject her at this point? Do you think he would take it personally that she fucked up the delivery? I mean, it seems like the odds are you're going to fuck up a delivery if you don't know what you're doing, and it's going to have to be...
Yeah. I don't know. There's...
Why are we talking about C-section? Is that just like she's trying to prep it?
Yeah.
Or does Lori need to have one?
Well, she said in the episode, I think, that Lori's first kid was delivered by C-section. Her second one probably will have to be as well.
Okay.
So she's
I don't think
preparing
that's
for that.
true, but it's probably if there was a problem
but that's what
with
she
the first.
Said. Yeah.
You know.
So I'm just quoting the episode.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Any other thoughts on that, or moving on?
No, I feel like I had something, but you got me sidetracked.
All right, cool, awesome. Adam McInn says, they've now dismissed the entire inmate plot by killing the Hispanic honey badger. I guess that's a price we have to pay for fast-paced episodes. He's worried that all the stuff involving the prison survivors is now out the window. I'm not sure that's true.
I'm not either.
Because it would be interesting if they gave Axel the Thomas role.
Yeah.
That he seems like this weak and helpless guy who's harmless, and he's actually a lunatic. And
honestly, that's what I felt like they were setting us up for.
Kind of, yeah.
With the harmless act.
Which that's why I really like about this remix season, because your first thought is, well, yeah, they're obviously completely abandoning this. I'm saying, hold your horses. It might not be all coast as clear. Maybe that's another loss that we're talking about.
Oh, you mean Axel gets hold of somebody?
Yeah, Axel kills Beth, or something
Could be.
like that. Axel kills Herschel. Axel cuts off another leg of maybe Herschel just loses another leg.
Do you think they're going to hook up his other leg, or the arm on the same side of his body?
Not lefty.
Do you think they're going to hook up Carl and Beth? Because isn't there kind of that sort of relationship in the prison?
Define hookup. Are we talking Jersey Shore hookup?
I'm talking what happens in the jail between a couple of the kids. I don't remember who they were exactly.
Sophia and Carl, they had like a kind of a sweetheart relationship, but it wasn't like...
Yeah. I don't mean Bow Chicka Wow Wow hookup.
Yeah. Am I wanting to see a remake of Kids? No.
No. Fuck no.
But I could
Larry Clark directing the next episode.
But yeah, I think that would be kind of interesting. I've liked their... I'm trying to put myself in a position. So like Beth is like supposed to be 17.
I think so, yeah. And Carl's looking 13.
But he's supposed to be 13, supposedly. So would a 17-year-old girl in a zombie apocalypse be attracted to a 13-year-old boy? I know that there's like 16, 17-year-old guys would be attracted to 13, 14-year-old girls. But
I think she'd be more likely to swoon over Glenn, honestly.
Right. And because, it's just because Carl's just so immature, and I feel like girls mature faster anyway, that's going to be, even in zombie apocalypse, a little bit of a bridge too far.
I disagree that Carl's too immature.
Really?
I think Carl's growing up fast in this world.
But he still acts... a little, like the thing, his blow up with his mom.
Yeah.
Like the correct answer would just be like roll your eyes and walk away.
Sure.
So anyway, so are you ready for the
big spoiler?
Oh no, there's no like big spoilers. There's
no.
We got one more, and then Nicole where she takes us to task.
Okay.
Rachel from Cleveland says she's got two things she's looking forward to. Glenn and Maggie and the governor. In the comic, the governor entertains people of Woodbury by forcing outsiders to fight to the death gladiatorial style. I can't remember where or when, but the run-up to the season premiere, the actors who play Glenn and Maggie both hinted that the relationship might become a liability this season. Yes, to keep each other going, but the governor knows about the if the governor knows about the relationship, he might use this to manipulate them. Prediction, Glenn and Maggie are forced to fight each other for Woodbury's entertainment. That would be cruel and badass. I don't think you can force them to fight each other, but... you could definitely put them in a ring with zombies.
What do you threaten them with? Death? If they don't fight each other? It's Kirk and Spock, right?
Right. Except for Glenn's going to be suffering from pond fire. Is that what you're getting at? Every 7 years, Koreans experience a sex lust.
Oh, my God.
They must mate.
All right. Yeah, that's too far.
Okay. Number 2, Andrea and the governor. Last week, you guys speculated the emotional impact of the governor's abuse of Michonne wouldn't resonate with the TV crowd. Instead of offering up Daryl, what if this plot gets picked up by Andrea? She's become a badass woman, and we know she's prone to flying off the handle, like when she pointed a gun at Rick in season 1. Oh, my God. She was trigger happy in season 1 and 2. Michonne is originally tortured by the governor because she attacks him in a fit of rage after he attacks Rick. I can see Andrea doing something similar. If Andrea was tortured, hopefully mercifully off screen, it'd have the emotional impact of the comic punch. So she's saying instead of Michonne, because I think it was TJ last week said that having her getting tortured wouldn't be as effective because we don't know her as well.
Yeah.
Andrea.
That's a good stand-in. Yeah. I mean, we do know Andrea, and I kind of think of her as one of the more interesting characters.
She probably turned it around in the last season, because I really didn't like her up until the last half of last season.
Yeah, so that could definitely be effective. Yeah.
All right, so we got a somewhat weighty topic to talk about. Nicole writes us in, said, I just listened to your podcast of Seed. I feel compelled to write about something you guys talked about in the spoiler section. The conversation began with you reading feedback from a listener, TJ from Michigan. He wrote about in the comics that Michonne gets raped. He felt that because she's only been briefly introduced and the audience doesn't have affection for her yet, being raped wouldn't be as big a deal right now. Then he speculated that if they switched it up and had the same brutal act happen to Daryl, that would be a big deal. Imagine how cool it would be when he gets his revenge. I was unnerved by that feedback. I understand what the listener was saying. People feel reverberations of violent acts when they know the victims more than people who read about them in the papers. However, there's an implication that the audience would feel a stronger reaction to Daryl's rape than they would to a female character. I mean, Lori was almost raped. Carol's abused. People don't really talk about that anymore. You discussed how crazy and ballsy it would be if the show had a man raped.
I disagree. We talk about that almost every episode.
Well,
we remind people
last
of the
episode
rape.
anyway, when Shane was still alive.
Okay.
Anyway, stop interrupting, Nicole.
Sorry.
You discussed how crazy and ballsy it would be if the show had a man raped, that it would punch the audience in the face. The audience would want to see revenge on an epic scale. The words and tones you used basically communicated that rape is a crime against women, and that if a man is raped, he is put in the position of a woman, and that cannot be tolerated. Furthermore, you asked, would it hurt Daryl's character at all? To be raped? To be raped, confirmed. No, I don't think so. It's not like he asked for it. No, of course he didn't ask for it. I'm saying, would it make him seem weaker for getting in that position? And I said, there are probably people who would make the argument. She says, no rape victims, regardless of their sex or the sex of the rapist, are to blame for the act of violence against them. Rape is an act of aggression.
Agreed.
No rape victims ask for it. It doesn't matter what their sex is or what they're wearing. As to question of weakness, the implication there is that only a weak man or a lesser man, a man who is like a woman, would allow himself to be overtaken. Those few words you two exchange are basic examples of blaming the victim. This happens too often in society. Wait, I'm almost done. We're living in a time when people are actually seriously using phrases like legitimate rape. It's more than a little scary. I'm a fan of what you guys do, and will continue to think of you guys as good ones. All right.
Are you done with that email?
I am done.
Because I 100% disagree with the conclusion that she came to, that last paragraph is just like not what we were saying at all.
Well,
we are not blaming the victim at all.
No,
I mean, she says as much when she quotes us. She says, like, would it hurt Daryl's character? No, it wouldn't. He didn't ask for it. We're not blaming him.
Well, just like I said, that if you... Okay, so it's like, do you think less of Marcellus Wallace because he got raped in Pulp Fiction? No, nobody comes away thinking Marcellus Wallace is a pussy. However... I think what she's saying is the fact that you asked that question implies that there is a large part of the audience that would, and I think that's true.
I do too.
And
that's why you said some people would argue that.
It is. So it's like, I guess what I'm asking you, Nicole, is do you think by acknowledging the fact that society has that fucked up double standard that we are endorsing it? And one of the reasons I was excited, and I think that I wanted to get off the air and I didn't speak clearly. And we talked about this after we went downstairs and were posting. I said, man, this might be controversial because I didn't articulate myself very well. I think it would be awesome precisely because it would be so challenging.
Yeah.
And I mentioned, because I responded kind of lengthily to Nicole in an email, and I said, I can only think of like 3 male characters that have been raped in all of pop culture. Mm-hmm. Lawrence, T.E. Lawrence from Lawrence of Arabia, Ned Beatty in Deliverance, and Marcellus Wallace.
Yeah.
It is a shocking thing, and I think, it's like I said to her, just like when Kirk kissed Uhura against his will in Star Trek, and that got a lot of people up in arms and talking about interracial relationships, maybe seeing a beloved badass character like Daryl going through this and seeing that it doesn't make him less of a man, and he is a victim, and it could happen to anyone.
And that
would be good for our society to process that.
I gotcha.
Because, it's like you can't blame society for being primitive in certain areas. It's like it is what it is. The only thing you can hope for is that people have moments of enlightenment where they connect and say, oh, I understand this in a way. Because it's not like, I don't think even the broest of bros making cruel, callous rape jokes is really pro-rape. There are people, but, well, man, I don't know, because there's just a lot of fucking rapists out there, honestly.
I was going to say, I don't think we need
the sheer number of women that have either been raped or put in situations where they almost got raped or were sexually battered is staggering and totally unacceptable. And as a society, we need to make if you got friends that routinely make women uncomfortable or get liquor in them and do stuff like that, it's your job to call them out and say that that's not cool and not tolerate it.
I agree with everything you said there. the reason that I agreed with you about Daryl being raped versus Lori being raped being more effective is because Daryl has been built up as this strong character.
Yes.
And so to see him in a weak position like that would certainly affect us more. Yes.
Right.
And I'm not saying that he's at fault for that.
Sure.
I'm saying that
it's a dramatically...
it would take a character that we know as a tough person and show him in a weak position.
And that would challenge the audience of how they feel about the situation, how they feel about the character.
It's the same thing that would happen if we saw Rick the Badass popping zombies' heads off left and right with his revolver, and all of a sudden it gets knocked out of his hand. Oh my God, he's in a weak position now. We're worried for him. You know? Like, to see Daryl weaken like that would not hurt his character, but it would have an impact on us.
Right. But I think...
So that's where I'm coming from.
But I think you asking that question does show that that the society does have that fucked up double standard. It's obvious.
And I've said in the past that I sometimes ask questions on here just to broach the topic.
Right.
Because I ask a question doesn't mean I believe what the question is saying.
Right. Right.
So,
but no,
but I'm with you there. Yeah.
I can see, like I said, because I was worried, obviously enough to talk about it after the cast.
Yeah.
I'm glad you wrote in, Nicole, so we could talk about it, because I personally like when we get to talk about, things like the abortion pill and this issue like this, and really kind of challenging societal topics on the podcast. And, I don't want to belabor it or bring it down too much, but it is something important to talk about and something that I feel strongly about. I love a good Heart of Darkness revenge story. One of my favorite books of all time is Tom Clancy's Without Remorse, about a badass who is wronged and fucking kills everyone as a result. And there's something very satisfying about seeing someone victimized and someone powerless decide, you know what, fuck all you people, and take justice in their own hand. Now, do I want vigilantes all over the place? No. But, it's like Samuel L. Jackson said it best. Yes, I killed them, and I hope they rot in hell. Sometimes it feels good to see a righteous vengeance like that take place.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Okay.
I think that's a show.
That's it? All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for writing in with those spoilers. And that's it. We'll see you next week.
Yep. Good night, guys and girls.